Happy Sunday, and welcome to another episode of Relationships Are Us with D. Love Jones, the Big Goo, and of course myself, the Relationship Rabbi. Hello, everyone. How are you all?
Listen, I'm good.
Doing good. How
You
you doing?
good, Mr. Hunt? Uh, Goo, you okay over there?
Oh yeah, I'm super good, man. How you
Okay,
doing?
it's the second Sunday of April. I didn't know if you was a late start on the new quarter. I didn't know if you had some issues going on over there. You should be in sync by now.
I'm all the way in sync, man.
Oh, see, for the people listening, we know when he's in tune and when he's not.
Yeah, we
so,
know the difference.
so, so right now the big goo is occupied, but he'll come on as the show progresses. So
Yeah,
as
I'm
always, say what?
I'm super good.
Oh, okay.
I don't know
As
because you
always,
was on your phone and we
yeah,
just kind
still
of want to
doing
see
all
your
kind of
eyes
stuff.
and your
Yeah,
face.
order the pizza, man. Come on now. Oh,
Yeah, man.
you got
Pizza
it.
is ordered. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
the
Pizza
pizza is
ordered. Got
ordered.
all the
Okay,
mushrooms you like. Got all the mushrooms you like.
The young
exactly,
ladies come on here to see you. You can't be hiding your face.
exactly.
Come on
You gotta
now.
give the people what they
Hey
want.
man, don't make me blush on a Sunday.
Listen. I'm just saying. You remember we was talking about you was getting snackier.
Hmm.
So we know the,
Oh,
the ladies is
right.
the ladies is coming to see Big Goo.
And
Hey
that is
man, you
coined.
know.
The phrase has been copywritten, so people don't steal D Jones.
Yes, exactly.
You're gonna be in court. You go. Oh,
Yeah, man, we a bit
speaking of
snackier.
court,
Oh,
speaking of court. Once again, D Love Jones has hit me across the head with a hot topic. She always do this. I'm ready. I'm in my chair, get relaxed, and she hit me with something heavy, and I got to regroup and try to figure out what would I do in this situation. So D Love Jones, tell the people what you blessed me with in Magic and I this morning.
all right. I will shamelessly say I spent like a good 15 minutes reading this 3,000 word article on, I think it was on the New York Times, but
Okay.
so basically everybody here is familiar, especially Magic with OnlyFans. And there's
That's
so
our
there's
first
this
shot.
interesting
First shot.
story. There's this interesting story about this young lady. She's 26 and she keeps it popping on OnlyFans. And she has her older gentleman who's 59, Stephen Klubeck, who is like a real estate mogul.
Okay.
And he
Hold
basically
on, wait
met
a minute.
her
Time
in
out. Time out.
Flip.
Time
Well,
out.
wait,
Time out. Time
what's the
out.
timeout?
Time out. Time out. Hey, you say she 56?
She's
He is
26.
50.
He's 59.
She 26. Oh,
Yes.
she 26. I thought it said she was 56. I was saying,
No, no,
oh,
no,
okay, go
no, no,
ahead.
no. She is a young tender,
Mm.
like popping it on OnlyFans, and she got her nice
Okay.
real estate mogul who was very, very interested. So apparently, she had been seeing him for like 6 months, and he done bought her an apartment, fully furnished it, spared no expense for his little young tender. And when he proposed to her, and she was like, "Wait, that's not what we doing." Now he's suing her for like more than, let's see, more than I think about $1 million.
Ooh.
Yeah, he said he bought her. He said she scammed him,
Mm.
and he bought her more than $1 million in gifts and trips, and she misused his palatial home, his private jet, and even his suite in MGM Grand in Las Vegas because she was taking pictures for her OnlyFans, nude pictures and everything for her OnlyFans when she was rolling around with him and balling.
Hmm.
So he's so hurt that she wouldn't agree to marry him. So now he's suing her and trying to disparage her and talking about she was using him and taking advantage of him and running game. So first of all, I'm trying to wait for the OnlyFans expert to come back.
I don't
But
know what he probably got another fan page in the other room somewhere over there. I
what's
don't know
going
what's.
on? What
I'm
is going
confused.
on?
Maybe the pizza got there too fast for me, but I'll
Listen,
I'll jump in.
listen, because
It's
I can't. First of all, Rabbi, I can't assume that you would know about OnlyFans.
I mean,
So-
I keep my ear to the street. You
Okay,
understand?
what's the
They're talking to me now.
Okay, so wait. So the first question is, because y'all got to follow the questions.
Okay.
We ain't just gonna ring. The first question is, if it ain't tricking, if you got it,
Okay.
can you then come back and ask for it back when you realize that she playing the same game you playing?
So the first
Well,
question is it tricking if you got it?
It ain't tricking if you got it. So if you fall for it and you fall in love, hey, can you come back and say, hey, you tried to play?
Yes
what
and
you
no.
mean, like if you fall for it, it wasn't nobody fell for nothing.
But I'm saying though, what in this situation, the girl's 26, the man is 59. Off the rip, you
So
know
that's
that's a little
33.
situation right there.
So he was 33 years her senior.
Yes.
And what's his Mr. Kluback? What's his name?
Kluback, yes. Stephen
Mr.
Kluback.
Kluback ain't got he don't have a clue. So he need to get his common sense back, because there's no way in my I need to see I wish we had a physical picture of this young lady.
You know, it ain't gonna do no justice if I put it up on screen. I wish we had it queued up, but
you know what? I can find it.
Let me see. Hold on.
That's enough. That's all I need. I see that every day. You see that? You see that every day at Lennox. You see that in the grocery store. Go to Publix at the right time. You see that every day. So I'm trying to understand how did Mr. Kluback.
That Kroger. Hey, that
Yeah,
Kroger's
Kroger's, depending on where you are. Yeah,
Which it depends on the Kroger, right?
depending on the Kroger's.
Hey, like,
It's not tricking if you got it. He got hustled. And I
But
think
did he really get hustled though?
yeah, he got hustled. He got hustled.
Okay. Come on now.
Because
Was he a rich man
like,
that was using his money to get what he wanted, and he just didn't get as much as he wanted?
He got
Could
what
be.
he wanted, but the thing is, but you ain't finna be, but you ain't finna be up in my house and putting, my aesthetics online and risking my safety and, like where you at and what you got, and all these things. So I agree with him on that aspect. Now, if you was in your own house and you posting pictures of yourself with your background, that's fine. I can't do nothing about it. Now, if he get mad about that, now you just in your feelings and you probably fell in love and you shouldn't have been falling in love. But but you can't come into my establishment and and then you finna go and and you finna pose for me in the things that I gave you. That's a problem.
Okay.
You pose for them in the things that you bought.
So like, come on. And I feel like y'all always lean in a bit to the dude side, which is natural. This is why I gotta come with my guns blazing with y'all, because y'all naturally lean into defending the man every single time.
No, I think he got played.
I'm defending
But first of all, did he really get played or did he play himself?
Oh, he got played. He got played.
First of all, number one, she said she was very transparent about her having an OnlyFans.
Okay.
She said he even at times took pictures for her OnlyFans.
Okay.
But when the issue was the control, was him saying, hey, I want to be with you. I want this to be something real. And her being like, wait, hold up. That's not what we doing here. We was having fun and having a good time, but I'm not trying to do all of that. And secondarily, like you doing the most talking about, you can't be posting no pictures in my house. And you knew, not you, Magic, because I know you don't be on OnlyFans and you don't have nobody that you be posting regularly on your stories that got an OnlyFans account. But I'm just saying, you knew that this girl had an OnlyFans. So now you gonna try to come in and police where she taking pictures and so forth and so on? You on board?
His feelings got hurt.
Yeah, let's be real.
My feelings hurt because he proposed over the phone.
He had to.
Yeah,
that's why my feelings hurt. Like, dude, if anything,
26
like,
and he 59. The numbers
yeah,
don't lie.
That's true. Numbers don't lie.
He's not finna marry someone that's gonna die next week.
And Nicole did it.
Yeah, but that's not. But obviously she's not gonna marry. Look, it is what it was. You got to feel this. You know what I'm saying? This amazing young lady. You know, you got to. You know what I'm saying? You got to live a dream. That dream cost you, and you paid the price to live that dream. So now, when you tried to turn this dream into a fairy tale, she got off. And she was like, no, that ain't the way that it's going. Okay, now the only angle he got for real is to say, you know what? Now, truth, now if it do go to court, like the courts probably will say, you know what, you don't have a right to, use his shop, his house
Yeah,
as
he was
your
home.
own thing. You know what I mean? So that's probably gonna so I can't come to
What court
either
is
one
gonna
of y'all.
say that? What court is gonna say that?
You could say it like I can come to your house and start taking pictures of myself with all your
Mhm.
belongings. I'm
Belongings.
taking selfies. I got your pictures in the
Mhm.
background. Like it could be high dollar
Yeah. Now,
items that
personal pictures and things that
and then
personally
but that can
attach you
say,
to it. Sorry, I didn't mean to
hey,
talk
but
over you.
regardless, right, but regardless of what, but then you can be like, you know what, I feel like my jeopardy, my life is at jeopardy because nobody knew I had this $500,000 painting up here. But
Mhm.
now they want to know. Now somebody could be following you now, trying to see where it is painting at, and you bringing people to my soul. It is a security risk. We
Yes, but
cannot
that's
get
not what he's
around that.
citing. He's not citing a security risk. Matter of fact, the
Now I don't
man,
want to be
just
giving
to
him no
go
help.
even further, I told y'all I spent 15 minutes reading this article and I was ashamed after the fact. I was like, I really read this for like 15 minutes and I can never get this time back. Not only was he not concerned about his safety, he was concerned about her coming up looking like she living a lavish life in his surroundings, in the things that he owned. It wasn't about his safety. And secondarily, he posted the address to the apartment that he got her. He posted the address to the apartment on Twitter because he was so hurt that he's like, hey, if y'all want to know where she at, this is where she at.
Mm.
Where that's gonna be attempted. He can get an assault charge for that because you can't put nobody at risk. So I don't condone that. He shouldn't have. That's he was hurt. He was in his feelings. He was definitely in
Okay.
his feelings, and to be 59, and if this is what you're doing, you'd have been heartbroken a couple times. So you should know
Indeed.
how to handle heartbreak.
Let me slide in real quick. Pause. Um, sounds like he didn't have the Ron Isley prerequisites because I know a couple of quote unquote almost borderline senior citizens that's live that can keep a 26-year-old at bay and keep her engaged.
Listen,
So
it's some zaddies out there. You ain't
yeah,
lying. It's some
so
zaddies.
sound like Mr. Klubeck need to go all the way back and talk to Ron Nice because if you saw the verses, he came in with the chinchilla leaned in and the looked like it was a Rolls Royce with the bow tie hanging, you know. So it's somebody out there that's 30, that he's 30 years her senior, that probably would give Ron a run for his money. You know what I'm saying? So just on the surface, I think the young lady got what she wanted, got what she needed, but knew that it was somebody that she just probably couldn't. Even like Magic said, how long he gonna be around? Well, she thinking I can enjoy being with him. I really care about him. Let's say for the next 15, 20 years. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
He kept me engaged. He kept me feeling young. He kept me, being inspired to be me versus the guys my age. He
Right.
just didn't have it. He didn't.
Right.
I'll tell you like this, put it plain and simple. At 59, he still didn't have it at 26, even if he had the same money.
Listen, and if you got to come out the gate dropping that type of cash, you can't be sitting here thinking that then it's all you. Because if
Correct.
so, you'll be like, she can just enjoy what I got and we could just kick it like this. But
Correct.
instead, you dropping that cash. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. You know what, to all of the women out there getting spoiled, do you? To all of the men that out there getting spoiled, do you? But everything just needs to be on the up and up. And he couldn't find no lies in his story. He was just mad because she didn't want to marry him.
Yeah, he didn't meet the.
And look,
You right, D Love. That's why he is pissed.
yeah, he was hurt. He was
Just
crushed.
like any other person that's in that timeline of, first man, maybe 2030s or whatever the case. You date a young lady, 5, 6 years, 7 years, and you get ready to get married, and then you propose and she say no, and then you find out a year later she married somebody that she just met, which she probably was dating them behind the scenes.
That's
And y'all
always
was
the
dating.
story. She was probably already messing
Yeah,
with
she
him.
was probably already. But at the end of the day, it happens in your 20s and your 30s, and those people get upset, and they all of a sudden find these videos that they took together, man, intimate, and it hit the internet. Her best friends find it on some social, sex site, and oh my God, they got y'all sex tape on there because it's out of spite. So he doing the same thing he would have did at 26, 36, 46, and he just happened to be 59.
No. Okay.
Hey, look, I just feel sorry for, men. Like, cause one thing about it now, when you dropping that dog off, like you ain't got to be dropping the bag off like that. Like when you dropping that dog, you know what I'm saying? Like when you hitting them in that sweet spot, you know what I mean? Like it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, God designed this a certain way, and and it wasn't designed to for you to have to just give all your money up, and that's on him, and hopefully, and when you got it like that, you got money like that, that usually the only angle that they have, because the young guy who she probably was down there in Miami with,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying, he paying for both of them because he dropping the dog off. So
Listen, and then let's not forget, she making money off her OnlyFans. Like she making money off her
the young
OnlyFans.
guy,
So it ain't like she ain't got it, but like, why I'm gonna spend mine when you gonna spend yours? So
hey,
she probably
D-Love
kicking it
Jones.
in Miami and ain't even tripping on somebody else's dime. Cause he ain't the
Yeah,
only one that's willing to pay for it.
yeah, she winning on both
Hey,
ends. She
but
international.
what the real discussion is right now is dog versus dollar.
All right.
It's dog
Okay.
versus dollar. That's what this is. It's dog versus dollar. You know what I mean? Now, it's a young guy that can come over there right now with D Love Jones, drop that dog off and have D Love Jones going in her bag. And
She said,
and just
Not ever. Not at
ain't
all. I'm
ain't
telling
gonna
you.
happen.
Ain't happening. You hear me? It's not happening at all.
hey, all right now. That's what they say. I mean, God working mysterious ways.
I'm just saying it ain't that
You know what
good.
I'm saying?
It ain't, I'm telling you.
Hey, hey, you think these fives they continuously be sold out, these PS5s, they who buying them?
I'm about to buy them. I
Listen,
don't have
The
one.
older
They was
somebody
women,
that love them, somebody to think
the
they love
older
them.
women buying them.
Yeah. Okay.
So
It's young women buying them
so it's a
too.
lot of sugar mamas and sugar. See, what I like about the sugar mamas that I wish that the sugar daddies can take a note from
Now hold
is
on. Is
that the
this
sugar
cane?
mamas,
Hold on, man. Is this cane sugar or is this brown sugar? Or Dixie Crystal sugar? Which sugar is this? Because it's different tiers now. So we doing cane
what
sugar.
sugar was he? Well, what sugar was he?
Sound like he was Dixie Crystal sugar. Cause Dixie Crystal, that about 99 cents a bag now they went Dixie, especially back in the day.
Yeah, so I don't know. So
Oh
so
wait,
but
I
I'm
need
just
to hear
saying
this
sugar
thought.
mamas.
I need to hear this thought for Big Goo about what I feel like is aimed at me and my sugar mama tendencies that he trying to talk into. We
No,
talking
I'm not
about the
talking
good
about your
thing
shit. I'm just
about
saying
sugar
what I
mama.
like.
The
I
good thing
like the
about sugar
sugar
mama.
mamas. They respect the game. Like, they respect the game a lot more. You hear less cases of this foolishness that this guy is doing. With sugar mamas, they don't go to these extremes. They just say, you know what? I'll go find me another young stud that's gonna move the way that I want him to move. You know what I mean? See, but this sugar daddy then got too attached to his little boo thing. And
Yeah.
and he should have known better. This is on him. Now you can't get, and Like, dude, this is an embarrassment. The sugar daddies worldwide. You
gotta see. Okay, so what you just explained to me is basically he's sweet and low sugar.
He's sweet and low, yeah.
Yeah, he's sweet and low.
Yeah, that's what we're
he's sweet and low.
He's sweet and low.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he just fell sweet on her, then she wanted to marry, then he went low. Yeah.
Then he went low. Exactly. Yeah, he's sweet and low.
Then he went low.
What you looking for? The people who buy these PF5s and respecting the code is brown sugar, that natural. You understand? They understand
that
the
original.
game. Yeah, they original. There you go. Not crispy. They respect it. You understand me?
They respect it.
Yeah, he looking for the brown sugar, the ones who's going on these excursion trips with that young stud, making sure she buy him the Gucci slide before he get to Mexico.
Right. I got disrespected by a sugar mama one time. And I'm gonna put this out here. I got really disrespected by a sugar mama one time. You know, I'm out with the fellas. Matter of fact, you know what I'm saying? I'm first, I'm first not getting to Atlanta and like that, so I wasn't out here that long. So we down there on Old Nat at the grown folks.
Oh yeah. Old Nat they'll find it.
That's all kind of brown sugar down there.
No, I'm talking about when you walk in there, it leopard print everywhere. I'm talking about it
like a safari.
It's like I'm talking about it's a jungle in here. So so I walk in, so now you're gonna find you a few in there that ain't cougar age, but they in there, such. So there's two young chicks, they in there with they auntie. There's three of us, it's three of them, the two young ones, and it's us, and we young at the time. So my folks like, dang, hey, bro, we leaving with these, don't say that we going with them, man. You're gonna have to take one for the team. So I'm like, dang, man, I gotta take one for the team. She ain't that bad, she ain't that, but she's a sugar mom. So, so I'm like, you know what? So we leave, we get in our car, get in their car, and she got a big Benz truck. So they get, so she, I'm like, okay, well, shit, I got the one with the money, so it's all cool, you know what I mean? So like, it whatever. So we go back to her place and, we having drinks, and then, toward the end of the night, everybody go to their respective quarters, you know what I'm saying? So I end up in the room with her and such and such, and I ain't gonna put too much out there, but in the morning, I like, put my shoes on, ready to go. You know what she told me? She said, get them 2 roller quarters off the dress rehearsal right there. And she told me get them 2 roller quarters off the dress. so man, I'm so blown, like, damn, like I don't even know how to handle it. I just grabbed the 2 rolls of quarter, like and gone, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gone with it, man. So this chick gave me 2 rolls of quarter, man. Like she knew it was just for the evening. She didn't respect, you know what I'm saying? She had respect, but she gave me 2 rolls of quarters.
But the question is, Big Goo, maybe you didn't bring the dog like you've been talking about. Maybe the dog wasn't.
That's why I want to
drive
traffic.
What you brought, a Rottweiler or Chihuahua?
I'm just saying.
Listen, first of all, first of all, it didn't throw me off anyway, cause them older women, they breathe a little heavier. You know what I'm saying? They get breathing hard, you know what I mean? Then she making these noises I wasn't used to.
Hey, Magic, I just thought about something, because my grandma, my grandparents, they used to have they were the treasurer of the church, so they used to have the paper where you would put the coins in when they would take the money to the bank. So did she give you the 250 quarter rolls? What are the dollar quarter? Like what, the dollar rolls?
The $10 ones. The 10. And she gave you 2. Was she just trying to give you money to get home? She didn't give you a ride home.
So she gave you $20. She gave you the $10 roll.
She gave me 2 $10 roll of quarters.
Oh, okay. That ain't. You could got you some breakfast.
I feel like was that like before Uber? She was giving you like a little change to get you home.
Yeah, that was before Uber.
Yeah, this was before Uber. Yeah, and she's.
I'm just saying, you really had a good opportunity there. You were so concerned with her interesting sounds that you didn't really give her what she needed.
Now I'm gonna tell you this though. Now, then I'm gonna be done with it. Now, what I did find out from that experience that the cougar culture got medicine in it. Okay. Because I slept for 3 days.
You slept for 3.
It got that cougar got medicine in it because I slept for 3 days after that. Like it. Hey.
Marcus, darling. That's it. This is magic, darling.
Oh boy, listen. All right, so
look, this is an excellent segue to one point that I wanted to actually talk about that D-Love kind of set it up for me. So when men do date, I saw a quote on a friend of mine's, and actually he would probably be an awesome guest to come on the show down in the future. But when dating, men start women from the top, women start men from the bottom. That's something he posted, I think, on Wednesday. And I was like, that's interesting.
Did that resonate with you?
It did.
Like, can you expound upon that?
I think for me personally, I believe that when I have dated, even if you're going back to high school, not saying when you said dating, he didn't mean exclusive. He just meant just prepping, just trying to meet someone and date. You always try to set the bar high, because you don't want to be spoken of and, in a bad light when she go home. Girl, how was the date? Girl, this, So you want everything to be on the up and up, even from 14, 15, 16, etc. So I've always tried to, raise a standard of like, okay, he's a good guy. Not necessarily, we got renting out the aquarium at the downtown Atlanta, but you had a nice day. Back then it was dinner at the movie, go to the mall, might see something, might get something, etc. But if a woman approaches you and she wants to set the date up, I do believe she sometimes might start from the bottom versus the top.
What you mean start from the bottom and the top? I'm kind of confused.
The standard. So when a woman finds a young man or finds a gentleman she's interested in, when they go out on the first date and you compare it to the man, when he finds a woman, he takes her on the first date, who you think starts from the top? The man.
Wait, so are we saying that the woman is paying for the first date? So she's setting it up?
If you want to take that story,
I'm saying, is that what because I'm trying to figure out what you're saying as far as like starting from the bottom. When you saying like, is she courting him?
I mean, if she's interested, if she says, hey, let's grab lunch tomorrow. I like how I saw you when you walked in. What's your name? My name is Buzzy Blah. This is my info. I know you with your guys. I ain't gonna hold you, but let's meet up tomorrow. Let's say that's this perfect scenario in this situation.
Okay.
And then in that
what is the bottom? What's the bottom? Because I think what me and D-Love John trying to get an understanding of, what do you consider the bottom and what do you consider the top?
No, that's what I'm asking you. You asking me to say the question.
I'm still stuck on the fact that is she paying for this date?
So what are you stuck on? What's there to be stuck on?
Listen, I told you I got no sugar mama bones in my body. You hear me?
That's not being a sugar mama. Let's not even
go on a date.
Let's not even look at our age bracket now. Let's just go maybe 10, 15 years from now. Let's say we're 25, 26. Okay. Career job, we moving up, got a little change. This before the kids, so we can do what we want to do. You see a young man in, outside old Atlanta. You might be outside at Justice, being a Hondas, and you say, oh, I think he's attractive. So you go introduce yourself and you say, hey, if you're not busy tomorrow, let's meet up for brunch. Where would you take him for brunch? That's simple. Okay. But you're saying
I'm not taking him.
You gonna set up the invite and don't even pay for brunch.
No. I'm not gonna invite him. I may exchange. First of all, you asking the wrong person because I'm asking
the right person.
But I'm just saying. First of all, I'm not gonna set up a date he's
Wow.
gonna invite me on a date. That's just my rule of thumb. Like if we are already acquainted and we already been doing it, I'm like, hey, that's different. But like, I'm not gonna meet him and be like, hey, let's go. I'm just not. I don't have it in me. I
So
might
what about
I
Dutch?
might
Do
exchange
you
numbers
believe
with
in
him.
Dutch?
You said what, Magic?
Dutch. Do you believe in going Dutch?
Before I believe in paying.
Dutch. That mean that you pay for you and he pay for him.
I believe in that. I'm gonna tell you this. Let me tell you the truth. Yes, I will go Dutch with you, but I'm not gonna take you seriously if we're going Dutch. I mean, we'll be cool. I'm not mad. I'm not angry. I'm not disparaging you.
So
but if you can't buy me lunch, then I'm not gonna be like, this man is really interested in me.
So why should the guy?
What if he feel if you can't buy him lunch, you're not really
interested?
Thank you,
we're
man.
not a match.
It's just like the guy from
We're
college.
not a match.
If you approach him at the bar and you say, "Hey, let's meet up for lunch tomorrow," and now you setting up a standard. It's not saying I'm definitely not bashing your perspective. I'm just saying you setting the standard and saying I'm not buying brunch, but I want to meet for brunch. That's just like me saying, well, down the line, if we were to get married and I follow hard time, you like, well, I
First
guess
of all, that does not mean
ain't gonna get paid.
You know, it don't mean that. Hush it. Okay.
Well, that's how men listen.
Okay. Let me explain. I'll be like in the middle. I'm traditional and old fashioned. Then I'm like, independent woman. But when it comes to stuff like that, especially because of how trifling y'all are, if I'm buying, like y'all, I mean, tell me for real, Jules is not really respecting no woman and looking at her like wifey when she paying for the first day.
Y'all, episode. We ain't Magic ain't F boys. We not F boys. We just sitting trying to get an understanding. We're not the F boys.
Okay, what I'm saying.
So listen.
I don't want to set that standard. So I likely am not going to invite him out on a date.
That's fair.
I'm not going to set that standard. I need to see what he about, because it's a lot of dudes, and I'm going to just say, I'm going to blame it on Atlanta. It's a lot of dudes that ain't minding being kept and ain't minding you spending your money and stuff like that. And they don't really bother them. I like a dude that's a little bit more traditional and he's like, oh man, I got it. That's just me. I'm not saying that that's not the expectation for everything.
But you may have it. You may be in a better position than him.
Right, and that means I need to give him some time to get in a better position before we be going on a date.
But what about the little kid? What about the little kittens that's out here willing to take you out for brunch, and now he a good guy. Now he with her. And then you get the rebuttal. Ain't no good men out here. Well, the good man.
Well, guess what?
The little kitten up and scooped him up.
We probably wasn't a match. You know what I'm saying?
You don't know.
We probably wasn't a match. I'm not asking. First of all, I'm the least person to expect a man to be spending money on me. Listen, I'm not. What is the girl's name? Grzansky. I'm not the Grzansky chick. I'm not trying to. But for me, and that initial reaction, I need a little bit of that chivalry, that gentlemanness, that let me show you what I can do, let me show and prove type of stuff. Right. And I'm not trying to send you through an obstacle course to do so, but that's a nice gesture for me. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, listen. So, okay, now this
I'm still single, so my views may keep me in this place
this scenario. Okay, I get it, and I hear you loud and clear. This the scenario I'm gonna put out here. I think it's a safety feature. If a woman goes out with a guy and she really wants to get to know him and don't want him to have any expectations of her, she was more likely to say, you know what, I got this, because, not because he is not sure, but it's just like a safety feature. So she, cause it's a common law, I guess, is that when a man pays, it's other expectations that come along with that, right? So I can see a woman of strength, a woman of sureness of herself that says, you know what, because I want you to get to know me and I want to get to know you, and I want to kill all expectations of you thinking that you're gonna wine and dine me, then get in the bed with me. Mm-hmm. So I will pay because I want you to respect me as a person versus a sex object. So I can see that a scenario. and why a woman would take the lead in that case when she want to make sure that the guy is really seeing her versus just trying to woo her. So,
I feel like, honestly, what you just said was some straight game to me. I was literally like, okay.
Well,
Like,
sprinkle it, dude. Sprinkle it, dude.
But Goo, that was straight game. I'm not game in the sense of like I agree, but game in the sense of like you was spitting it so nice that I was really like, that makes sense.
That's game.
Okay. And that respect. That's your perspective. For me, I feel like I'm the prize. I'm not asking you to come and spend money on me, but when we first engage, because oftentimes, I don't know, like dudes, I'm not saying dudes want to chase you, but I don't feel like you get that same type of respect if you coming in the door saying, "Oh, I pay whatever." And then what if you meet a nice dude that's kind of feeling like, well, dang, is she gonna be just trying to pay? And like, what, she ain't thinking I'm a real man and I can hold it down, or she think, like they might classify as you some certain type of woman too.
Hold on, man. Let me slide in just real quick. Pause once again. So I'm trying to tell you this as quick as I can, 3 minutes. So before Ebony and I started dating officially, we were still, kicking it and, calling each other, how you doing? How was your day? I was dating kicking it with this young lady. She never called unless she wanted to go out. She never called and said, how was your day this week? How was your work week? How was your day? Blah, blah, blah. It was always, hey, what's going on? Nothing much. Oh, hey, cool. I ain't doing nothing today. You want to get up? Then I'm like, I simply asked her, I said, well, every time you call me, it's just to get up and hang out. You never call to just say, hey, how you doing? How was your day? Oh, well, I'm a school teacher, so I be busy, this and the third. So nonetheless, we know she was history. But when Ebony and I started dating, Ebony took me out for my birthday, but we weren't official. Mm-hmm. We were still just trying to figure things out in our own personal lives, both coming out of divorces 2-3 years prior. So my mom called me that day. She said, how was your birthday? And I said, it was nice. She said, well, what did you do? I said, Ebony took me out. She says, oh, okay. Then she asked about the other person that I was talking to at the time. And she said, well, did such and such call you? I said, yeah, she called me while I was on the date with Ebony. And my mom said, you are stupid. She said, you mean to tell me you picked the phone up while you was sitting down eating with Ebony? And I was like, well, mama, me and Ebony just friends. We're cool, we're not dating. She's like, listen here, boy. A woman don't take a man out for his birthday unless she likes him. Mm-hmm. She's interested in him, seriously, in a relationship fashion. You feel me? So with that data, that's why I equated to that statement. If Ebony was really interested in me, she showed it by saying, I'm going to take you out for your birthday. Mm-hmm. You see,
but that wasn't your first date, right?
But we were still
that's indicative. Okay,
hold on, because you got to think we were still not nowhere. We had been intimate. We were just still old college friends,
right?
But she still said, regardless of that, you took it as a friendship date, just kicking it and hanging out. But a woman don't take a man out for his birthday. Right. Unless she really likes him or is interested in him in a relationship standpoint.
So I totally get that. I would do that, and it would be because it's your birthday. But if and then also if it's not it's just different. I don't know. It's nuances to it. It's not like if it's your birthday, hands down. I wouldn't have no problem with it. And I wouldn't even if we didn't become anything after that point, I wouldn't even take it as I didn't wasted my money taking him out on his birthday type of stuff. But it's just wait, what are you saying, Big Goo?
I said, you sure missed my birthday. I'm like,
but
yeah, you see,
we're in a pandemic, though.
Thank you, Goo.
We're in a pandemic.
Right.
But all
of
pandemic.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, you just said I'm getting a little snackier.
Yeah.
No, right, but you're not there yet. You're getting there. But you're not.
So basically, what all I'm saying is, in that analogy, the reason why the other female, even the female who called, you weren't interested in being with me on my birthday. You gave that half, thought calling halfway through the day. But if you really was interested in me, you would
It
have
would have
made
been
it
planned
a
the week
priority.
before.
You would have made me a priority. So the other females that did not make me a priority, guess what happened? You became a necessity. You were a necessity. So
Rabbi, I love that
I'm gonna
example.
tell you this. After you get past the first date or whatever, like sometimes men, and that's what I consider, and they don't like the term that I use, but that's what I consider a love deposit. So most men have to pay a love deposit, so that's what they say. If he doesn't put down a love deposit, I can't take him serious. So, so they have to pay the love. So they have to pay the love deposit. So now, once the love deposit is paid, this is when real pimping goes into effect. After you pay the love deposit.
Sanctuary.
So now, every pimp know that a woman is full of buttons. She got buttons. She got a cook button. She got a pay button. She got a watch your kids button. She got a wash your clothes button. She got a I bail you out of jail button. She got a slut button. She got
Goo, hold on. You might be giving too much game.
First of all, continue.
I'm just saying, we're not Steve Harvey.
Continue.
I want you to just scale back a little bit because you're giving too much game. You're giving too much. You're giving too much.
Church. I'm just gonna say church.
Yeah, you're giving too much. I just want to put a pin in there.
I'm gonna say, right. I'm just gonna say church on that.
Yeah, I know what chapter you was speaking from, and you was gonna give them too much.
Okay,
right.
next.
But however, the D Love Jones said without a love deposit. That's what it translates to. Without a love deposit, she cannot take a man serious. And and is that and my question is, in a fair world, is that really fair?
Let me say this.
And for
it, first of all, the amount that you spend on the first date is not really doesn't even matter to me. You could tell me, hey, I want to take you on a date. Can you meet me at Piedmont Park? You got you done made sandwiches and a whole little cheese tray at your house, and you set it out. You got your little Bluetooth little stereo playing, and we chilling, getting to know each other on a blanket in the park. That's still a date, but it's your intent behind it and the effort that you put into it. I don't want to court you as a woman. I don't want to set the standard of I'm pushing us along. So for me, I would rather have a man who is more aggressive to come and tell me what he wants and move that forward from the beginning, right? I'm not saying it's not gonna be give and take, but it's not like, hey, you got to spend money on me. But I'm just saying, if I'm paying for the first date, I'm not gonna look at it as we dating.
Well, guess what? You in a good company. You got the guru and the rabbi. Take a page from my book. It'll go a long way. I know it's because they say if you keep doing the same thing and expect
experience goes a long way too, Rabbi. Experience. Yeah. You ain't out here in these streets. You ain't out here in these streets, bro.
I am the street. Listen,
you ain't out here in these streets. You don't see it. You don't see it.
Me and Big Goo have to keep our ear to the streets to be up to date on what people are going through and experiencing. You understand?
So, Rabbi, tell me this.
Yes, ma'am.
What did you do any gestures to let Ebony know that you was the one? What did you do to cement in her mind that, hey, I got what it takes?
The exact day, I actually apologized for picking up the phone. I think that was something that an adult would do. An adult man, if he figured out that, it took me like a week and a half to figure out that what I did was kind of messed up.
It also took your mama to tell you, but
No, I had other peers. I had peers to tell me, but the peers who told me were actually women. Other men were like, well, I mean, it wasn't no big deal. But my female friends, they were like, yeah, she like you. You know what I'm saying? Then my mom, she said, I was like, okay. So like a week went by, and we were going to a fashion show, and she came with me as a guest, and I bought some flowers. And when I got to her house, I presented her the flowers, and I told her I apologize. And I said, we've been dating, off and on for a few months here and there, and I just want to let you know that I'm serious about dating. I knew you, I didn't know where you were, but your gesture from my birthday lets me know in what direction you want to go, and I'm willing to try to go that direction with you. And so it took her maybe about a week or two to give me a response because she knew me from college and she knew people that went to high school with me. And she was like, "Do y'all think I can take Tay serious? He is crazy." And I'm like, "Don't do me like that." She was like, "No, for real. I don't know the serious side. I don't know the government name side of you. You know, I know you're a fun person to be around. People love to have fun with you. You're the life of the party. But can I take you serious in a relationship?" Is what I'm asking. And everything else is history. But that moment when I told her, I apologize and let's move forward and see what we can do with this organically relationship that we have. Can we make it serious? That's what happened.
All right.
So
So
let's
can we
go
run a
back to the
poll?
deposit.
What's
Go
that,
ahead.
man?
So hold on. I want to stop. I want to put a pin. Like I want to go back to the love deposit kind of thing. So because cause speaking from D Love Jones said, hey, she can't take a person seriously, and so but for a man that does that, and a man pays for the first outing, which most women say is a first date. So men don't even so even though the man paid, like we don't consider that even to be a date still. Because
Mhm.
we like we'll pay, because we just want to get to know you. But you say, hey, but it's a date. It's not a, so is it possible uh to be dating someone that's not dating you?
Yeah.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah.
Heck
That's
yeah.
what's going that's
Because
why
in
D
your
Jones
mind,
don't want
That's
to
why
get
I'm the way I
that's
am
why
right
she
now, right?
that's what I'm saying. I'm looking like that's why
That's why
she
I'm
do
like,
what
nope.
she doing. You know what I'm saying? But I think when we step back and we start having expectations based on how things used to be or how things should be, I think we kind of let the expectation is not as heavy when it doesn't go the way we expect it to go. So we had all these high expectations because you might have a guy that takes you out like the series Joe. I mean, main character, Joe. He treats the first season. He treats the girl like gold. Figures everything she wants. He's progressive in everything she likes. He thinks before she talks. But at the same time, Joe was a serial killer. He was a manipulator. He was a narcissist. So some things are too perfect. The guy that can hit all like Magic was going down the buttons. If he hit all buttons, something ain't right. Because we all flawed.
Mhm.
But I think if you go against the grain and say, you know what, I'm gonna try it this time, or I'm gonna reinvent myself and reinvent my approach to do this one thing. Maybe I'll take this gentleman out and just see. But if your expectation is already high, then of course you're gonna be disappointed. But if it's just, I'm just like they say, for shits and giggles, I'm not really gonna be pissed about, like you said, the first date, $30, $40. I ain't gonna be pissed about this $30, $40. I'm just trying to get my groove. It's just like a resume. I mean, an interview. If you interview 4 or 5 times and you find you keep not getting the job, by that eighth interview, they be like, "Well, you did well." In your mind, you like, "Shit, I had 7 interviews, so this ain't nothing for me." But they don't know that, so they're
Mhm.
impressed.
yeah, most time, man, we ain't dating for a long term. We not out there for this long term thing. Like, so most time we just know it is what it is, cause most of the time when men are doing what they do is it's definitely a it's a physical attraction. You know what I mean? Like it's physical.
Mhm.
So to assume that, so it's like it's just crazy. Like we get deemed and we get these hits on us for being men. Like we simply born men. Like we born
Mhm.
with, it's a physical thing. So so yeah, so we see you, we like you. The first thing, we thinking of is, you know, we don't see a woman. Most men just don't see a woman physically see her, hadn't heard of her, hadn't had a conversation with her. The first thing we think is, damn, I like that. Like I can, you know what I'm saying? I can smash that. You know what I mean? Like, so you have to be registered on the smash meter first. And then, you know, then you go from the smash meter to, you know, okay, oh, then you get to talking to her, then you be like, oh, okay, well, she cool. You know what I mean? Like, she might be somebody I can vibe with. But even if I couldn't vibe with you, you were still smashable.
You get into it and you doing it again.
You know what? I'm not gonna do Rabbi. I'm not, you can't see me pointing at you on the screen. I'm not gonna do this with you today. Okay.
You giving too much game.
Let me take a little bit of what you just said. So to me, that plays into my stance, because it could be somebody who is entertaining you, but not necessarily on their radar. So it's like me, I feel like if a man is interested in you, whether he think you smashable or whatever, he's going to make that effort, right? And you're gonna have to be the one to keep him focused and say, you're gonna have to get to know me first before we get physical, because you know how men are. But what I'm saying is that as a woman, you could be so forward and aggressive, like, hey, you meet a dude, hey, I think you cute, whatever, and he's just like, hey, I'm just going out with her for the heck of it. And she pulling me, but that don't mean he's really interested.
Men are not really interested. Like, we are not, like in most relationships.
You saying they're not interested one way or the other, whether you paying or whether he paying, he ain't really interested yet. Right.
Not initially. Physically, he's interested.
Correct.
I mean, like, if you're going to tell the truth, physically he's interested. But, you know, then, you know, most men get caught off guard by a relationship because they didn't think they was going to know. I don't know many men that just like, you know what, that, you know, that they knew what it was going to be from just.
No, you know, it is relationship guys. Like, you do know that, Big Dude. Not every dude is like a perpetual bachelor. It's guys that go from relationship to relationship because that's where they feel comfortable.
Now, I do know some
we call them squares.
I do know some guys that are hopeless romantic.
We call them squares.
Okay. You probably fall in that category, but I'm gonna let you know.
Trust me. You know, those squares.
Hey, but I do have some friends that are some hopeless romantics, and you know, and they, you know, and they believe in, you know, like they, you know, like they want to be in relationships, so they look for that, you know, like, you know, I know guys that look at some male that say, I mean, I know some males that say, hey, she looked like a wife, she looked like, you know, versus, you know, you know what I'm saying? But I don't have, but it's not many of those that I know personally, but most of the guys that I know are just straight men. They like, hey, you know, and they got caught in now, you know, if a man, so I think men really fall in love. I'm talking about fall. I'm talking about like, you know, I think men fall in love. I think women they start preparing themselves to be in love. So that's why I think men hurt worse in a relationship, because men fall, because they actually fall. They didn't expecting the. They weren't expect. They thought it was gonna be hit and go, grab and go.
So every dude, you know, meet a woman and be like, it's about to be hit and go. Every dude is meeting a woman thinking it's gonna be hit and go.
No, I ain't say every dude. I said, but most. I said initial. It's a physical thing. Men see their ass walking by.
But every time you see it, you look at it like, okay, I don't know.
D-Love, check this out.
Well, I tell you what, D-Love, if what I'm saying is wrong, why do men get charged with thinking about? So every woman say, you know, when you meet a man, like the first thing a woman say, the man be like, nah, it ain't even like that. I just want to get to know you. First thing a woman accuse you of is you just want to fuck. You know what I mean? Every woman accuse every man of that right off the rip. So if it's not true, why do you
I don't accuse nobody of that? Unless they trying to come over my house and they don't know me, unless they trying to do those things that indicate that that's all they want.
I tell you what, okay, let Mason say first attraction is physical, right? If you walk up on it, just like every female that you approach may not find you physical attractive as a man. You might be like, well, I might not be her speed. But if you was to walk on upon a guy that finds you physically attractive, but you don't know it at the time, and you present him, they say, hey, let's catch brunch tomorrow. If he said more than likely, if he says yes, yeah, in his mind, he's already registering. I wonder what that's gonna feel like if I get that. You see what I'm saying?
This is just
That's just what it is.
I just don't want to be here no more. I just don't want to. I just don't want to. This just sucks. Y'all just horrible, terrible people.
But it's still flattering. It's still flattering.
No,
you already know.
Get this.
He
Get this. Women say, hey, when women say on site, they know who they gonna give it to.
They don't. Site. They already know. They already know.
That's what they say.
It's up to
That's
you.
What they say. They know.
As the man, it depends on how fast you get it or how long you gotta wait to get it. But they already know in their mind.
No, if you
can get it,
if you're gonna get it or not, and a man know off top if he gonna pay a light bill or not.
Church
off top.
Okay, y'all. All right. So basically, this is just. I mean, at the end of the day, listen. I understand I'm on an island. And I'm fine here because this is a safe place for me. Okay. And I don't listen, I'm not bending. I'm not bending.
You have to. You got to bend. You got to break, but you got to bend.
I mean, but for real, listen. I'm telling you.
A couple.
You gotta set some parameters for yourself.
Coffee and scones? What's coffee and scones?
But listen, first of all, I'm not paying. Period.
My
first day when you talk about at the bottom, yes. If I'm inviting you out, we're about to go for a walk in the park. I'm gonna have some bottled water in my purse, and we'll get to know each other. That's the most that you get.
And if I see a king of pop and they open their cooler, I expect you to nicely pull out your debit and spend that.
You playing? You playing right now? You playing right now? First of all,
it's just $6.
First of all, if it's just $6, then I already invited you out and brought the bottled water. Why can't you try to, get snazzy with it to get the $6?
You ever heard of a delayed blitz in football when they act like they're gonna blitz and they don't, and they drop back in coverage? If you reach down in the purse, that's the delayed blitz, and you pull it up.
I feel like the person
might lean in and say, don't do that.
That's what I need. That's what I need. I need the person to be like, hey, what you doing?
That's the delayed blitz. He gonna pull your hand, be like, no, I got you.
All right.
So is this ridiculous right here? Most women like manly, say want a manly man, right? So this is a true story. They go to the fair, first date, they could go to the fair. They go to the fair, they get on a ride. Hey, so the chick say, hey, you know what? Said she didn't want to see the guy anymore after that because he treated her well, bought her popcorn, cotton candy, got her a corn dog, all the good stuff, right? But they went to play the games and he could not knock the little bottles down enough of them to win her a bear. And so she say, he's not a manly man. Like she was like, she was like, he couldn't even win me a bear. So she didn't want to see him no more. So is that ridiculous or what?
Yeah,
the question is, could he buy the bear? Could he afford to buy the bear? It doesn't matter if he could win it. He could buy the bear.
No, because at the fair, they're gonna make more money with you playing to get the bear than buy the bear. So they want you to keep playing. They'll make more money with you playing versus buying it. Because that bear might have cost.
So would you look at a man different if he couldn't win you a bear at the fair?
No, I wouldn't.
No, because the fair.
First of all, don't even try to win me a bear because I don't want to carry that big old thing around, and I'm too old, y'all. I don't. That stuff don't matter to me no more. I'm like, let's just walk around and keep a watch and get some slushies. I'm saying, if he want to give me a bear as a nice gesture, but he don't have to do that to prove he a man. I mean, like your character proves that you're a man or not. And first of all, women have been just as impacted by toxic masculinity as men have. Like we got some distorted views of what we think a real man is anyway, because of that. So that don't even matter. But you know what do matter?
And I don't
let me
think
give y'all this. Let me give y'all this one though. I used to talk to this dude, And every time he would come visit me, he would never pull my trash can up to the house.
Mm.
And when I tell you, it used to get, and I could not, I mean, I couldn't shake it. I could be like, he probably just didn't see it. But let me tell you, the older guy who cuts my lawn, every time he cuts my lawn, because he cut my lawn on trash day, he will pull my trash bins up to the house.
That part of his
But this
job.
You
dude
pay him,
who
right?
I'm dating never
pay
pulled
him,
my
right?
trash. You said what?
But you pay the guy who cutting
Yeah,
your
you
trash.
pay the guy to
Yeah,
do
but
it.
I'm not paying him to pull my trash bins up. I'm paying him
That's
to cut
part
my
of
You're
lawn.
good.
Yeah, he think that's part of his job description.
No, he doesn't. He's old school. He saw that the bins was empty. He pulled them up to the house like every man should be programmed to do. I know it's wrong. I know that's
No,
not right.
you're right.
But
I think
so
that
for me, that was one thing. I mean, not one time did he pull my trash bins up to the house.
Mhm.
And secondly, he always came empty-handed. Like I don't know, I don't know what that meant to
What you
me.
mean
I mean, it
empty-handed?
wasn't like I needed him to give me money or nothing like that. I just wanted some gesture of like, I like you beyond just I'm showing up.
That's
It's like
how
he
we.
never
Dropping the
brought a
dog
bottle
on
of wine. He never
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah.
you.
That's
He
how
just
we
drop
feel.
dog and that's all.
Yeah, that's how we feel about the park situation. You got to show justice that
Just,
you really want to be here. So pay for that king of pop.
just dog and that's all.
But
That's
I
all.
but I yeah, pay for the king of pop, and then
Okay.
that's a gesture showing that you really want to be here. But in that same token, when you are in the beginning phases of just courting and things of that nature, I think it's a nice gesture to call and say, hey, is there anything that you need? Like you said, a bottle of wine, etc., etc. But so obviously he's in the past from
Yeah.
based on your
Uh-huh.
word tracking. So
Yeah.
yeah.
But it wasn't like a deal breaker, but it is something that really it ended up being connected to the overall issue, right? Like him, it was symbolic to something that was more about this person and how this person wasn't for me. But it was just like that to me. Like I feel like if you really like somebody and you really want to show them, like you're gonna figure out, I might not need you to pay all my bills and I might not need, you to do whatever, but like you're gonna find small ways to show that person, like, hey, I got you and I'm thinking about you, like, you know what I'm saying? And so to me, a small
Big
gesture
goo,
is
big
pulling my
goo.
trash can up to the house. I ain't asking
Hey,
for much.
big goo, big goo, big goo, big goo, big goo. Trying to live, big goo. I hate to do it because I teach a workshop. C before E. That's a communication before expectation, and C before E. This is my communication before expectation. So the thing is, like, people are like, gonna have expectations. You're gonna have, if you're looking for a mate, you're gonna have expectation of what you want your mate to be. And if now maybe the other person just don't know but you gotta have communication. So you have these expectations, which in that one is I would consider to be a reasonable expectation. But hey, it has to be verbalized. It can't, nobody can just read your mind. No, nobody can just understand, okay, look, these are the requirements of being with a person like me or being with me, so hey, look, when you come over here, young man, like, no, like, I would like for you, if you see my trash can, just pull it up because it's gonna, make me see you in a different way. You know what I'm saying? That should have been communicated. Now, if after it was communicated, he said, fuck them trash cans, then it was different. So, but if it, but we have to start practicing C before E. Communication before expectation. We just can't have expectations first. We have to have communication first.
But
And we
isn't
have
a
to
certain
tell a person what our expectations may be. Every little detail. You can't expect a person. Like when I coach football, we start with start stance and alignment every season. I'm not gonna assume you know anything. When I'm getting to know somebody or I think I'm picking a mate, I'm not gonna assume you know how to be with me. I'm not gonna ever make the phrase, if you really like me, you would do this. No, because I haven't told you what I would expect of you to be with me. You know what I mean? Yes, some things may seem like common sense to you. It may, but that's to you. The other person may not see it that way. So communication before expectation. I think we have to practice that, and we can't assume what a person knows. Period.
I respect
No
that.
matter how
I
small the
think,
detail will be.
but and I respect that. But like when it comes to pulling my garbage cans up to the house, that's more about thoughtfulness than it is about like a specific thing, right? It's like you're being thoughtful and you're making a small gesture to show me like I want to relieve you know what I'm saying? I just want to do this for you because I like you like that, right? So it's like
Yeah,
to me,
it
I
is
felt like,
thoughtfulness.
well, let me say, like, I felt like I don't want to be nitpicky and be like, hey, you didn't do this or you didn't do that. It's more so like me evaluating how you are as a person and then feeling like you probably just not a very thoughtful person. And I'm
Right,
not necessarily saying you're a bad person, but maybe I need a person that's more thoughtful. Because
right. But maybe he is a thoughtful person.
me telling him specifically, hey, bring those trash cans up to the house is not the same as like me looking out there and seeing that he did it.
Right,
Because
but it
it
would be because it would be if you was open enough to understand. Maybe he doesn't understand. Maybe he doesn't have. Maybe that's not on his register. But if you put it on his register, and maybe then well, maybe you know
I think you frozen.
Yeah, he's freezing up.
you
But let me.
know what? Then every time now he might
Wait, Big Goo,
take
you
a
saying a lot and
step
I'm missing all of it because you
far,
frozen.
not the train.
You
Okay,
had a,
am I back?
yeah,
Yeah,
you
you
back
back.
now.
Yeah, I said so. Maybe it wasn't on his register, and once you put it on his register, his real thoughtfulness kicks in, and be like, you know what, cause maybe it just didn't register to him, cause maybe he didn't understand that. Maybe like it's a lot of things. I'm when I'm dating when I'm out here dating a female, it's a lot of things it could be on, like I've been in a situation like that, and once I said something, say, hey, you know what, this don't really look too good to me like this, and and I don't want to think of you in this light, and such and such. She didn't really understand, but once I told it to her, she was like, you know what, now, and she took that and she multiplied it, because she was like, oh, I just didn't know, because she wasn't in that environment, of that, the women she come from ran everything, told it, they talked to me in any kind of way. Hey, look, hey, I don't know what's going on, but I like it, and I'm trying to continue to like you. But but the way you talking is gonna put us at war. So look, I'm an alpha male, and and I can't handle, such and such, this, that, and the third. Woo and woo. So you're gonna have to make a decision. Is you gonna want to talk like this? Because if so, I'm gonna have to go the opposite way, because this gonna put me in prison. So she was like, okay, boom. She just didn't know. So now, but once we, so it was, so she understands. So even though you look at it, it's just thoughtfulness. It is thoughtful. It would be a thoughtful thought, but that's an expectation as well. So it would be a thoughtful, you know what I'm saying? So your expectation was to be thoughtful. You want him to be thoughtful. That was your expectation. So hey, look, I'm gonna need you to be more thoughtful, cause I'm not, the most thoughtful person. Like if me and you, they like, I'm not that thought, cause you know what? Because I've been by myself, been on my own. I ain't have no, I didn't have nobody that cared about me. So I don't really know how to care. So now I get with a person that come from a caring background. They have to show me how to care, at least care
Okay.
for them. So, but
I,
it's
I can
communication, but
respect
not
it. I mean, that analogy was helpful, but I guess in my mind, I just felt like you don't need to nag somebody into doing what you want. Like I felt like it was more of a control thing. Like instead, I just was like, well, maybe that's just not a thoughtful person. So maybe that's just not, maybe that person can't really meet my needs overall because
well,
that's how they operate.
if they are thoughtful and you communicate it, then they to continue that's another ball game. Then you can really just say your analysis was right. Because now after I communicated and I communicated it in a healthy way, and you still decide not to be thoughtful, that's a whole nother ball game. Now you can say, you know what I'm thinking is true about this person, and they're not a good match for me, because regardless of what, they're not going to be thoughtful, even if I try to lead them down the road of thoughtful. So then you can say, no, you know what, this person here is crazy. I gotta go.
Mm. No, I respect it. Okay, can I ask a question before we wrap up?
Oh yes.
Mhm.
This is for you, Big Goo. Is it possible that your future wife is on OnlyFans?
Ooh, no. Now I would hate to be so close-minded and shallow, Hal, and but you know, I am definitely very shallow. I'm a shallow. I just can't lie. I'm a shallow person. I'm definitely a shallow person. If she's on there, if she's on OnlyFans and she is, and she's selling my products, like if
That's
she,
the only way?
like if she's on there and she dressed like a Muslim, and like, but if she's on there and just wide open, no, that can't, cause I look at, like, hey, cause I see myself as a Martin Malcolm type of guy. So, when I'm looking for a mate, the first thing I ask myself, is this my Coretta? Is this my Betty? So, and I don't think Coretta would be on OnlyFans. I don't think
I,
Betty Shabazz would be on OnlyFans.
I thought you were talking about Martin Lawrence, but go ahead.
No, no,
What you
no.
talking about Martin
I can
Luther
see my
King?
Martin Luther King. Yeah,
Well, Martin Luther
I
King
see
was slick
myself.
too now.
But
So
we not
Yeah,
going
but
into that, Rabbi.
but he's
Dr.
talking about
J.
relationships. So Coretta stood by him while he did his slickness.
nah, I don't think he did it. I don't think. Yeah, there's no proof. There's no.
Oh
I'm not finna.
gosh.
I'm not
Come
finna
on now.
nail. No, I'm not finna nail Obama. And can't nobody come talk to me about no Obama did something. Ain't nobody finna come talk to me about no Martin did something. And you know what I mean? Like we're gonna hold. Look, we're gonna hold our king. We're gonna hold the few kings that we got up. That we can, and I'm not finna buy into this foolishness and try to tarnish
I'm
and
not
be a part of
tarnishing nothing.
tarnishment. Martin Luther King wasn't. Now I met a one. Listen, and the only place that you meet crazy people like that is in Atlanta, Georgia. I got to Atlanta, Georgia. I met a woman. I was over at the Piggly Wiggly. This woman used to say. This woman said Martin Luther King was knocking the fire from her at
Probably
Piggly
was.
Wiggly. Man,
Is he not from
I can't
Atlanta?
do this. Yeah, I can't do this. I said I can't do this. D-Love John, I can't do
Well,
this.
he's not here to defend himself.
He's not. He's from Atlanta.
Oh, hey, baby girl.
What's that? Hey,
The one thing I just the one thing that I just wanted to ask, because I feel like a lot of men perpetuate and influence the culture that you see on OnlyFans and stuff like that, but that ain't who they trying to marry. So it ain't gonna be no women left, because women are absolutely bending to what they think is gonna get them where they need to be, and they changing.
It's gonna be women. It's more women than men.
But
Yes,
some of these men are actually performing sexual acts with their partner on OnlyFans. So they just, women nude and doing other things.
no, right.
Their partner is with them. So some of these people are couples.
Right.
On an
First of all,
OnlyFans page.
OnlyFans is not a sex site. OnlyFans is producers selling beats on there. It's
Okay, but
artists
y'all
selling
getting all
artwork,
into the weeds,
pictures.
and y'all know what I'm talking
where
about.
she
That's
at.
not. I'm
I'm
not
with you,
talking about
D-Love.
that. I'm not talking about how producers are using it in movies and filmmaking. No, we're not talking about all of that. You know what I'm talking about. So let's stay the course. That's all I would.
Right.
I'm just saying.
And
when
that,
you-
like,
when
no,
you be-
my wife would not be on OnlyFans.
Oh, okay. Well,
Well, what she presented to you after y'all married, will you stay with her or get divorced?
Nah, like that. Look, I feel like, I was, hey, I feel like I was in an OnlyFans situation,
Oh
and
Lord.
so I can tell you now, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have nothing against the way nobody make their money because ain't nobody paying nobody bills but them. But
Mhm.
however, you would not be a hunter.
Did you
You
see
know what I'm saying?
before
That's
E?
not what.
Did you create that after that situation?
During the situation.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. Okay, well, there, and that's fair.
You were doing
You created, so we go
you were
through
doing
things and we find out a lot of things about ourselves. So that's
Mhm.
interesting.
Yeah, see before E,
Well,
you know what I mean, as but I think that that when we talking about attracting the right mate, that's been the slogan: find a date, find a mate, let's make love great again. That's Big Goo logo. I mean, that's his slogan, man. Find a date, find a mate, let's make love great again. So when like like I say all the time, man, it take practice. For men and women. For me, I practice being a husband. That's the only way I'm gonna attract a wife, somebody that's practicing the same things that I'm practicing. So I practice at being a husband. I practice being a good mate. So once I connect with someone, then it ain't so hard of a transition for me to try to figure out and learn how to be their mate or be her husband. See, because I can be a husband, but that don't mean that I'm ready to be her husband. So because when I start to being her husband, it's different. Now I can be a husband by myself, but to be her husband, it's gonna take some adjusting. It's gonna take some, it's gonna say, but if you ain't even started practicing being a husband or a wife by yourself, when it comes time to come and be joint with someone, it's gonna be hard to make that transition to be his wife and her husband.
Well,
Just
thank you
can't
for
be
that.
a husband or a wife.
Okay, man. Well, we're gonna make sure you put that in your help book down in the future, so you can help us, our young kings, become good husbands and fathers and things of that nature. Well, I enjoyed you all as usual. We have some guests coming up in the near future, so we want all our loyal listeners to stay tuned and invite new listeners to come and check out Relationships Are Us every Sunday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. D-Love, have any closing remarks, anything you would like to tell the people?
I just say you ain't got to change for these fools out here. Be yourself and be by yourself.
and I would like to leave with them. It's because of spring and summer, people gonna start wearing less and showing more. So if I just want to put this out here. And this quote is: "You look too good for a mofo to be unsure about you." Remember that. Okay.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's
So
a
just
good one.
remember. Just remember once the pollen wash away. Keep that in mind. Big Goo. Anything before? Well, you done talked enough today. Look, we're gonna sign off because he probably keep us in an hour long. You a Baptist minister today, boy. We try to have a benediction. Well, God bless
We got it.
everybody.
C before E. Thank you.
See you before Ian. We'll see
Right.
you next Sunday. You all have a great week and be safe.